Welcome to another episode of Last Week's Comics Today. I have a decent sized stack of comics here. Let's get straight into it. First is Until My Knuckles Bleed, issue 1. This is, it's by Victor Santos, and I did a video recently about his Polar series, which I loved, and so when I saw this pop up, I added this to my pull list, and I am very happy. He has a sort of simplistic style that is similar to Omen, I guess, would be the closest reference I can think of. It is... this is a flashback, so it's black and white, but the rest of it's in color. And it is more colors than Polar, which was very stark. But the basic premise here is there's a group of people who were heroes in the 90s, and now they have grown old. They are sort of feeling the pains of age. They're down on their luck, and it's very good. It's sad, it's good, it's sort of a nostalgia hit because they are very aware of what's going on, but most extreme of times. I like it a lot. If you were a fan of comics in the 90s, I suggest it. If you are a fan of Victor Santos, absolutely recommend it. But this is good. I don't remember how many issues this is. I assume it's a miniseries, but I definitely recommend getting this. Supergirl issue 8. This is the end of the series, and I can tell you that it ends well. I really enjoyed this, and I was concerned about the ending because I feel like Batman Catwoman is falling apart in real time, one issue at a time. But it ends well, and I think I learned something about Supergirl's horse that I was more unfamiliar than I was aware of about that horse. But this is really good. It wraps up everything that was going on. It does it well. It does it beautifully, and I recommend it. This is hardcover when this comes out that I will recommend. Primordial issue 6 is also the end of a series, and this is a beautiful story that is also drawn very well. So we get some more of this type of thing, and there's more of that, so hang on. We get some of this, but this isn't even the big one because there is this. So all of that is going on, and I'm just gonna recommend it and not tell you what's happening here. So I've covered each of these issues in previous videos. If you don't know, then go watch those or pick up the series for yourself. I am sure this is going to get collected very soon. I will recommend getting that as well, just like Supergirl. It's good, I recommend it, and I'm not going to tell you anything about what happens in this issue. Hulk issue 4. The series was already weird. It gets more weird here, and I think more violent, because we get, which is kind of crazy to say, and maybe I'm wrong, but we get some of this going on. I mean, it's not quite the first issue violence of a giant-sized Wolverine having a bone claw snapped, and maybe it wasn't a bone claw, but Hulk versus a giant Wolverine having claws snapped off and then stabbed into his face. But Hulk gets shot a lot, and I feel like I'm going to drop this book at some point, but for now it's entertaining enough. Art's nice. I miss Otley. I miss Invincible, but this is good. Pilots issue 12. I still feel like the book is ending. I'm gonna guess maybe issue 15. I think solicits for May just came out. I haven't read through Image yet, so maybe I'm wrong, but we'll find out. I mentioned back in issue 10 that there was a house powered by ghosts that was fighting a robot powered by ghosts, and the build-up to that had been the previous few issues, and then they didn't fight. Well, here they're fighting the entire time, and the fight... This panel doesn't mention time, but they do mention, I think, weeks have gone by. So, here they say days on end. So, there is a house versus robot. They've been fighting for days, and the army has given up trying to stop them. Meanwhile, these two are trying to find a missing ghost, the last ghost for the house. And this is, it's, I think, more horror than recent issues have been. So there's a sort of abandoned scientific settlement. There's also this creepy thing. But there's an abandoned scientific settlement, and what that ghost has been up to there, and what is going on, what was going on. All of this. The series is great. I recommend it. I've been recommending it to basically anyone I talked to since it started. But it's good. Recommended. I think it's ending soon. It feels like it's ending soon. In Conan, issue 3. I feel like less happened in this issue than the first two, and maybe that's just me. I was surprised when I flipped back to the cover, because I read this and I thought it was issue 4 based on the amount of stuff that had happened. So when I got back to the cover, I'm like, oh, this is only issue 3. But in this, it feels like less happens than the others. So we get some history about Conan on the boat, how he winds up on the island, some of the things that led up to him being there. We get a tiny bit about his son, but that's mostly rehash from the previous issue, and even some of what they cover here is also rehash, but it is still good. It's just not as good as the previous issues, in my opinion. Hopefully it picks up. There's only 3 issues left. We're halfway through it now. Hellboy, The Bones of Giants, issue 4. This is another miniseries finale, and I've mentioned each time that I've talked about this book that I read or listened to the audiobook of this. I believe it was a novel before it was an audiobook, but it's good. I recommend it. The comic is also good. I just don't think it's as good because it's only 4. They're smashing a novel down into 4 comic issues, and it just it's fine. It's just not as good. So you can get this. You can look at the pretty art. I mean, this is a fantastic page. But I do recommend getting either the novel or the audiobook. There are several good Hellboy audiobooks that I've listened to. If you enjoy this, if you enjoy Hellboy, get some of the other material as well. Quad issue 1. This is from Behemoth. Quad is... There's 4 creators, these guys here. And I know this guy. Him and his friends put out some comics a few years ago. I think... I don't know exactly anymore. A few years ago, they put out some comics in Brazil, and I really wanted those translated into English. Behemoth is the one that did it. This is that, and what they're doing is... So this is issue 1. This is one of the creators. Issue 2 will be a different creator, so that is this one here, and I think this is out next week, which is surprising, but this story here is post-apocalyptic survival. It's sci-fi, it's survival, it's post-apocalyptic, like I said, but it is good. It is in black and white. If you're interested in unique stories from original storytellers, I recommend getting this. I recommend trying each of the series, each of the stories from one of these creators. I'm enjoying it. Unlike What's the Furthest Place from Here, I think I'm officially done. This series already had a strong vibe of the Warriors that continues here, with a gathering at a carnival and the meeting that is being built towards doesn't happen here. It's just a gathering of the different factions at a carnival, and nothing much happens, even though it is still a higher page count than usual. I don't understand all of the hype this book gets, and I think I'm officially done. I feel like the opposite is happening with A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. So this is issue 5. It's very hard to read, but that is a 5 there in yellow on white for some reason. I don't know who made that choice, but I didn't initially like this based on issue 1. I was sort of intrigued, but I didn't think there was enough to really sink my teeth into, and the series has improved with every issue since. So there is quite a bit of talking this issue. Some things are not quite explained, but certainly there's enough material that you know what's going on, even if you still kind of feel like you're in the dark sometimes. But it is very good. It's drawn well, and I recommend it. I have no idea how long this is supposed to run. I don't think anyone has said yet, but it's great. Recommended, absolutely. And that is everything that I got this week. So of these, I would say Book of the Week goes to... I'm going to say Until My Knuckles Bleed, because I really hope people try this out. I mean, most of the rest of this, Marvel, DC, Image, even... Do I have a Dark Horse? No, it's all Image. I mean, those are the publishers. Those are the publishers everyone's familiar with. Behemoth, probably not, or at least less so. Victor Santos is probably also one of the creators people are less familiar with. So absolutely, try this out. There is, it's great, and I hope more people try it. They enjoy it. They find it, discover Victor Santos, and read his other works. As I said, that's everything that I picked up this week. As always, I get my comics from a local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Thanks for watching.